Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Liddy, and I am coming on here. I'm going to share a little bit about anger and how it affects our BMW. And if you don't know what our BMW is, it is our body, mind, and wallet. Full disclaimer, I am not a psychologist. I am not a botanist. I am not a gynecologist. I am not an ist of any kind. I am literally a woman that struggles with things that everyone else struggles with, especially anger. I'm literally in recovery for anger management. So every day when I have, when I have like a relapse or, just an outburst, it brings me back to where I was, and I don't want to be there anymore. So I'm just going to be honest and share a little bit about what's going on in my life. And what we like to call our BMW, like mind, body, our body, mind, and wallet, it's the hub of the heart. So anything that affects your body, mind, and wallet is getting to the hub of your heart. Okay. So we'll just jump right in. Okay. So I will be really, really honest. So every week I've been trying to just kind of put out some content, just sharing about what's going on in my life, in our life, what we're learning, breakthroughs, products that we use that, help us be the best version of ourselves. What do you call it? Practices as well. And there's not like one product that you're going to sit there and be like, and I kind of shared last week about, this one product isn't going to change your life. Okay. But it's a culmination of you wanting to be well, and you're, practicing different things, breathing, or just the way that you think, or just getting rid of habits. So yeah, like I said, today, anger. I will say that this morning I definitely had a little bit of a meltdown. I don't know if I'm not going to blame it on hormones. I'm not going to blame it on being pregnant. I'm not going to do any of that, because that's totally not the reason, because I've always struggled with anger outbursts. I kind of grew up in a world where, if you wanted justice, you had to go out and get it. And you had to make sure that you confronted that thing. And we kind of lived in a world where we didn't have a voice. You basically, whatever was happening, you just had to go with it. You had to be part of the team, which is fine. You had to live with whoever, you had to go to this new school. You had to just do whatever you were told to do, which is fine as a child. But it was really just because we lived in a world of uncertainty and instability because of, my dad's addictions to gambling and alcohol and just really bad habits. And then my mom enabling him and here we go again, getting evicted. Here we go again. Who has to take care of everything? Being the oldest of 9, you have a lot of responsibility. So I'm not trying to find excuses for my anger. I'm just trying to understand where it comes from and trying to get rid of it, because I don't want to live in a prison of anger for the rest of my life. I will say that anger outbursts are addictive. I have learned that they are addictive. There is such thing as being addicted to anger, as there is a high and a low, right? You get up so high and you're like going. And like, once I get angry, it's like, all I see is red. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I like almost black out to where I'm just so angry, like so angry. I will slash your tires. I will I want to burn down the I want to burn down the house. I used to be like that, especially when I was an alcoholic, which wasn't that long ago. And we're coming up on almost 4 years now of alcohol-free and nicotine-free. So I'm super, super duper happy about that. Thank you, God. I could only do it with God. But I always thought that my anger stemmed from me being a raging alcoholic. I'm just so mad. And believe me, when I would get to a certain point, there was like drinking, okay, it's fun. And then I get confrontational, and then I get defensive, and I'm going to like rip your face off. So it was just the levels. And then you come down and you're like sad. And then you go to sleep and you wake up the next day in so much regret and so much guilt and shame. And it actually disconnects you from the world that you live in, the people that you love, and it hurts them. I've gotten into physical altercations. I have like punched my boyfriend in the face, blackout drunk. Don't even remember. Wake up the next day and I'm like, oh my gosh. And like, he's got like a big old black eye. So it's not like this is a new thing that I'm learning about myself, but I can't find excuses for it, but I can understand where it comes from so that I can get rid of it. So that's enough 5 minutes about my background. But so yeah, this morning just had a full on, blowout with my daughter. We're having a little bit of growing pains when it comes to just our schedules. We're really, 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 really busy. And when she comes home with homework and we're sitting there at 9:00 at night and we're like, and it's just not clicking. And there seems to be like, I feel like, she's not trying enough. And then she feels like I'm being mean. So there's definitely a disconnect there. But yeah, so that happened this morning. And I'm not going to go into like the details, but it was really just not a good experience. It wasn't a good way to wake up in the morning. It was like 5:00 in the morning and we're just like, arguing, and I'm arguing with a 10-year-old, and it's just like, and then I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I guess this how big I am, like that I'm literally sitting here arguing with a 10-year-old. I know that I'm not in the right. I know that there are some things that I do need to work on. But I don't need to be arguing with a 10-year-old. I want to understand. I think that's why I was like arguing. So I'm like, what, like, where are you coming from? This is where I'm coming from. Like, just go back and forth. And I'm learning that my tongue can be a tool and a weapon. So I need to just remember that when I'm talking to my loved ones and I'm trying to explain to them, but I just get so angry. So, but yeah, so that happened this morning. And just kind of like how anger affects my BMW is, anger affecting my body, me, especially right now at this point in my life. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm very, 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 very pregnant. I am like 9 months pregnant at this point. Pregnancy has been amazing. I will say that. I have been a lot more cognizant of what not to do and what to do, and getting angry is one of those things that you cannot do when you're pregnant, because you could feel your stomach. I could feel my stomach get hard as a rock, and like the cortisol you could feel it. And like, like cortisol, that cortisol is getting like seeped into your body, like the hormone cortisol. It's a stress hormone that basically just makes you fat. Okay, it's good for some things. Like cortisol is amazing if like you're in a situation where you're like, oh, I'm in a dangerous situation. I need to like move now. Like I need to make action. That's great. When cortisol is amazing for that. But if you're constantly under, like your body's releasing cortisol hormone, then you will, there will be like your metabolism slows down, which people are like, oh, cortisol makes you fat. That's kind of what I'm referring to. But also the worst thing is that it literally ruins your whole, like your whole balance of your body. So I noticed that. So the thing that like kind of like helps me when I get like worked up is I just gotta, and believe me, it takes me a lot to walk away from a situation when I'm already like pumped up and I'm bucking up, like you have no idea. But I do have to remember that like I need to, good morning, I need to walk away from a situation first and foremost. I need to just get out of that situation, because for me, there's no calming down. If I'm still in that situation, I'm not going to calm down. It's just going to get worse. It's going to get elevated. I'm going to say something that like is not even true. Like that's not even like a true statement of how I really feel. Thank you. But it's something mean that I would use like as a weapon if I was, when I do like get into those like brawl moments. So I just have to remove myself from a situation, and I literally just breathe. I'm not making you, but sometimes it's so hard to breathe because you're so worked up. So I just like, breathing. Breathing is the most powerful thing that I can do in that situation, because I literally am not breathing. My brain, like, I think the brain cells are just cut off from circulation. There's no air going to my brain at this point. And I'm just like a wild dog. And just breathing in itself has just helped me, I've noticed, just calm down and just remember, like, is this situation like bigger than me? Like, is this how big I'm going to be? And I just have to keep remembering that. Is this situation going to take me down? And nothing is really going to take me down, especially when you're pregnant. Like, you have to remember, like, I have to remember, nothing is more important than this baby's health. And me getting stressed out is not going to like be good for the baby's health. So we just can't do it. I can do it when I'm pregnant. Like, I can actually do it a lot easier when I'm pregnant than when I'm not pregnant. It's like the craziest thing. I'll do it for someone else, but I won't do it for myself, which is really bizarre. So the biggest thing that I do is put some peppermint on, to be honest with you, because if you're sitting there and you're like tripping, like I'm tripping, like it's so literally just like one drop, okay, one drop, and I just and it literally forces you to take a deep breath and just breathe, and like I even just feel calmer after doing that, because it really just helps me. So peppermint has always been one of my biggest things. I carry peppermint wherever I am. I like for everything. I use it for everything. I've already shared that I use it as a breath mint. I use it to cool down. I use it for my stomach. I use it for heartburn. I use it like if I can't go to the bathroom, especially being pregnant. It's pretty hard sometimes with all of the vitamins that you're taking and the food and the baby sitting on your like lungs. But trying to just feel normal, feel balanced. I use it for everything. But the biggest thing I use it for is for breathing. So I do that. Okay. So that's what I do for my body. My mind, when I am like under the influence of anger, I literally, like I said before, there's a lot of shame that comes with anger. There's a lot of disconnection to God, to who I really am. It makes you feel like you're so shameful that how dare you, like what you said and what you did and how you acted that was like so wrong. And it really does disconnect me from God, because I feel like, why would God even forgive me? Like, I feel like crazy. Like, if I'm like 1 second I'm lashing out and the next second I'm like, oh dear Lord, please forgive me. You feel like a lot of shame, So those are the biggest things. And that's the biggest thing that the enemy wants to do. He wants to disconnect you from God as much and as fast as possible. So, and I know that. So like me even knowing that, and I've been practicing this for a while, me even knowing that, I fall for it though. I fall for it less. I will say I fall for it less now than I did before, but I still fall for it. So shame, guilt, isolation. So the biggest has kind of helped me kind of remember that, that I just don't want to I don't want to feel that way, is like to immediately make amends, go to God, go straight to God in that moment, in that breathing time, go straight to God, ask for his forgiveness. Of course he'll always, welcome us back as his children. But also go to that person that I had that outburst with. And, I will be honest, like I really haven't had, the only few people that I've been having these like anger, conversations with is my daughter and my husband. Not so much my husband anymore, but mostly my daughter. I feel like me and my daughter have been butting heads a lot more lately, which is like really, it's sad. But I think it's good because it's growth. It's a lot of growth. So I'm super excited about it. It's bittersweet to me. And then the last thing, how anger affects your BMW, the W side of it. I don't know about you, but when I get angry, like, okay, so for example, not saying that this happened today or anything like that, but like if I tell someone, like if I tell like my daughter to do something, right, and she doesn't do it, there are repercussions, like I can't, like, you can't like put a whoop ass on her or anything like that, but you can take away things. So I end up just taking away everything. I'm like, that's it. Everything's going. So I just like throw everything in a trash bag and like it's going in a trash can. So wallet wise, that's everything that was on the floor. Like I told her, I'm like, everything that's on the floor, it's got to go. Like, period. I told you. So, and you have to like live up to what you say with children, because if you say something and you don't follow through, that's when you have to basically start the training process over again and again and again. So for me, I've always just been like, if I say something, it has to happen, because I didn't live in that world when I was younger, and I did not respect my parents because they were liars. They said this was going to happen and it didn't, and I don't respect them, period. So I'm throwing away everything. So now what do I have to do? I have to figure out a way to, I have to either buy new stuff or I have to do this, it's just money that is just unnecessary. It's just unnecessary. So yeah, that was our experience today. But it's going to be a good day, and we worked through it, and we apologized to each other. We had breakfast together. We're going to have a good day and go, work on her math and try to get her on a better foot with school. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, and just the things that I kind of learned. But yeah, so anything that I share on here, practice or a product, especially the products, if you guys go to my website, you can literally see on the right side or at Hub of the Heart, non-toxic products. And that's where you can see like peppermint. Okay. And I am super excited to kind of like just have peppermint be in like our new kit, which is like awesome. Okay. So in the new kit, it's amazing. So this kit is like literally $100. So it's really cool, because before we had like 12 oils, right? We had 12 oils and like a diffuser, and it was not $100. It was a little bit higher price point, but there was double the oils, right? But this is like your starter kit, right? So peppermint comes in it, which is awesome. And then you have 5 other oils, right? And I always share what they are. This is lavender, this is purification, thieves, stress away, and deep relief, which is for muscles. And this is for like obviously stress, right? And then it comes with a diffuser, right? And I put peppermint in it because I was tripping. Like I'll tell you right now, I was tripping. So when you use the code ShareYL, you actually get it 10% off. So then it is $100. And you can grab that on, like I said, when you go into the shop at the website, just go right there and it will literally take you there. Or you can just go and click on my link in my bio. And then obviously when you sign up, you don't have to do like a monthly membership or anything like that. But because for me, I mean, it's a lifestyle. It's not like one oil is going to be like, oh, this is life-changing. Oh my goodness. Yes, it's going to be awesome. Peppermint is really going to help, but you're going to run out because you're going to use it, right? So then you can go back in, you can get oils whenever you want. If you do use it, more often, which, I do, definitely sign up for loyalty rewards, which is the monthly rewards that you get every month. Because if you're using a product, why wouldn't you want to get rewards for it, right? So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Again, this is the Make a Shift. It's the Make a Shift starter kit. And then all of the practices and the products and everything, like I said, they're all on my page. And you guys have the best day ever. Thank you.